Hello and welcome to the ATRACO social evaluation. The video clips you are about to see are taken from the interaction sessions and interviews with the study participants. The aim is to give you a flavour of the real human interactions behind the data and to try and bring the D27 report to life. The first part of the video shows participants interacting with the system in the different activity spheres: entertainment, sleep and work-study. And the second part focuses on extracts from the subsequent interviews that illustrate an issue relating to ATRACO's independent interfaces. In the first part, we see participants evaluating the prototype in the free play sessions, where after an introduction to the system, they are left alone to explore and experiment with the functionality. They are asked to think about their reactions as they interact with the system and to signal any moments of confusion, anxiety, uncertainty, their likes, dislikes or general comments by raising their hand or writing a note. Here the participant adjusts the lights. Here she turns on the air conditioning. And now photos. The participants imagine they are relaxing in their living space. The functions available to them via a touchscreen or voice interface are photos, music, air conditioning and light controls. They are asked if at some point during their session they would also turn the air conditioning on and then walk over and open the window in order to demonstrate ATRACO's energy saving function. Notice how the interface follows him as he moves across the room.
Next song.
Lights on.
In the sleep activity sphere, participants are asked to imagine it is the end of the day and they are relaxing in bed.
Lights off.
Some voice commands were not successful. Participants tended to find this frustrating.
Lights on.
The functions available to them are the same as the entertainment sphere, with the addition of the security function. This one command sets the alarm system, turns off the lights, air conditioning, music and pictures, and draws the curtains. Participants are asked to imagine that they can easily set up their own list of rules for this function. Finally, the work-study activity sphere integrates functions to provide a personalised working environment for the user. It brings together direct access to sensitive websites, such as personal banking, with environmental controls. Okay, so as I walk in a moment when the participant is interacting with a sensitive website, an unauthorised person enters the room. Now then, you can bring it back just by clicking on it. No, not on that one.
Sorry.
Go back to the piggy bank again.
Okay.
So it'll be, yeah. You just click down here. You can bring it back. You can choose to bring it back.
Okay.
Or you can choose not to do that. But now if you go back to the...
So what would happen if you didn't come in talking? If you just came walk?
No, it's not based on my voice. It's because I've got a tag on. But there's lots of different ways to identify human beings. So this is just one way. Yes, yes. Excellent. Yes. Okay. So you can choose to, if you don't mind watching it or looking at it, then you. This demonstrates how ATRACO reacts to move the site from view. Participants are also shown how the view is reinstated and how to authorise a new person. If we now go back to that.
Start music. Classic. Play.
In this second part of the video, we start with a clip that shows how the sense-making interview process is explained to the participant. So now I'm going to go through the video recording of your interaction session together, and we're going to talk about any gap moments. So just to remind you about gap moments, those are the moments when you were surprised by the system response, or moments when you felt confused, unsure, hesitant. But it doesn't matter, actually. What matters is they're the moments that you chose to put your hand up, and we can talk around those moments. I want us to explore these moments in detail, and I'm going to ask you to bear with me because of the nature of this type of interview, some of the questions are a bit repetitive, and yeah, it sort of kind of goes down and down, but you know, I hope it doesn't get too tedious. We'll have a go.
Hope so.
So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to play it until we find a gap moment, and then we'll stop it at that point. And I just want you to talk about, just try and describe what that gap moment was, and then I've got a whole bunch of questions that will try to flesh out that gap moment. We'll see how this. Focusing on the significant moments highlighted by participants reveals their perceived needs and expectations of the prototype. Each experience is highly personal, often relating to the particular background or lifestyle of the individual, and yet interesting recurring themes emerge across the data. As an example, we're now going to focus on one theme that emerged from the data in relation to the prototype's independent interfaces.
I realize that I make links, or I think I make links, or I think they are linked, but you know, whatever I do on this laptop, that would show on that one.
You thought that it would be synchronized between the two?
And also with the iPad. So, and then, you know, realizing, you know, that nothing is really happening what I expected, I realized, oh wait, these are completely different tools to use, right?
Yes.
And I'm sure you mentioned it to me, but somehow...
No, I didn't actually, but it's...
Oh, okay.
It's, and yeah, no, that's something that's, you know, very interesting because it didn't match with your expectations.
No. So whatever I did here or on the iPad or on the big screen, they
were not synchronized.
No.
Yeah.
So I couldn't check. Wait, but I did press the button here. But didn't I press it well enough, or with talking wasn't that clear enough? So I was always checking somewhere if it would respond, or of course looking to the heating or to the light, if it would respond to me. But every time I felt I had to check it on other devices, you call it, right?
So it didn't feel. How did it feel to you?
I couldn't check it.
Yeah.
I think that's the clearest thing.
So was it did it feel uncomfortable, or would you?
Well, it's more like you want to see if it responds to what you want or what you ask the computer to do or for you. And I couldn't check it. Couldn't check it.
Couldn't see whether it had responded to your commands. That's interesting. And so you would prefer to be able to see.
Well, for me, yes.
Interfaces.
Yeah, because it's like in a way it's supposed to be one interface and they coordinate together.
So how you envisaged ATRACO working is that all the interfaces work together.
Yeah, and if I'm controlling one, the other just follows the one I'm controlling.
Okay.
Because when I came here, the RFID notice is that I'm in front of the TV, so it's opened the interface automatically.
Yeah.
And I'm at the same time using the iPad. Yeah, so I started the slideshow from the iPad. I want to see the slideshow.
And not the...
Yeah, exactly.
I expect that the TV, the display, the things displayed in the TV probably is the same as on the panel. When I'm moving the things, and the TV will also be on the same situation.
6 of the 9 participants who took part in the entertainment activity sphere independently highlighted the standalone nature of the prototype's interfaces as something they found slightly confusing and counterintuitive. There was a clear desire for the visual interfaces within an AS to operate synchronously with one another. If you want to know more about this particular issue, it's discussed in more detail on pages 40 and 41 of the D27 report. You have seen a range of different participants interacting with and evaluating the system, and then discussing their experience during the interview. You have also seen an example of a theme emerging in the data. Thank you for watching. We hope this has given you a feel for the live social evaluation activity. Questions are very welcome.